Greetings, welcome back to Ministry Monday. Here we are at the beginning of November. Several have asked, and I will go ahead and say this. I'm going to mention a book now, and then I'm not going to mention anything else in my repertoire of things I've written for a time. Somebody asked me, though, why I had not mentioned the book that I wrote several months ago, Distinctly Different. This ventures into a new field for me. Distinctly Different is the first in a series that will address the issues of God's men. And the chapters deal with things like John Mark's failure and how that he overcame that failure to become a man of significance. It will talk about Jacob having the long view as opposed to Esau, who was living for the moment. He wanted that red bean soup right now. I've also developed a leader's guide for group use with Distinctly Different. These are both on the website. Link is below. An effective pastor is a great thing, but an effective pastor is more than being a friend to the people in the congregation that he leads. It's not enough for a pastor to be a buddy. Likability, hear me, likability is not the most significant measure of a leader. A pastor is going to deal with issues in almost every family, and he's going to teach some things that will be disappointing to people in the audience. A phrase that I've used through the years as I have dealt with people in difficult circumstances is the phrase, "You know I love you. You know I love you. You know I love you." They know that I love them because they've never seen me act in a way that was a protection of my self-interest, the self-interest of my wife, or that of my sons. That phrase, "You know that I love you," and them being able to say, "I know, I really do know that he loves me." That's an important phrase in a shepherd's toolbox. Because from it, at times, you're going to use the statements, "I love you so much, I'm going to tell you some things that you'd rather not hear. I love you so much that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to appropriately confront an issue that if we don't confront it and address it, it may well cost you your soul." I'm telling you right now, those seasons are not times that I like, and the people I've had to address those moments with, they didn't like them either. The objective of the pastor's work is life change. It's spiritual maturity. It's eternal life. It's hearing the master say, "Well done." That's what really counts. To be respected and granted the right to influence people consists of more than being liked. Comedians are liked. Circus clowns are liked. People gain Oscars because that their drama is liked. Pastors lead, and yes, I'm not talking about arrogance and our being stupid in the way that we deal with people. We learn how to be gracious and we learn how to deal with people in the right way. But more important than any of that is to act it in a way and treated others in a way that garners respect. It may well be that their thought at times as you lead them along the way stations of life will be, "Pastor, I don't much like you right now, but I respect you. And I trust you. And I know that you have my well-being in mind." Well, that kind of respect, folks, is earned. It's the product of a long obedience in the same direction. It's a process of time that gets you there. And you can't get there with that kind of respect and that kind of trust in a few days, a few weeks, or a few months. Many times it takes years for people to establish that sort of trust, especially if they have been wounded by someone who was in a similar role as what you now feel in their lives. Don't aim to be their buddy. Aim to be their shepherd, leading them and getting them to this place called heaven.